And oftentimes, if you all pile onto, if an enemy champions all pile onto you while you're channeling bullet time and the MF dies, they all took bullet time damage while doing so, and then you win the fight with your secondary carry, who's the Azir in this case. So the drop a ward in to see if he could go for the 50-50. They really did account for everything in this early game. We mentioned the neutralization power of Ornn in this lane, so he already has his Negatron Cloak online, so tons of magic resistance already picked up. You can just have for free because of Ornn's passive.
And sticks around for the wave and he gets punished for it.
Yeah, and they had control vision in the Tri-Brush. They had vision around the Dragon Pit. You know, they knew Canyon wasn't anywhere nearby. Yeah.
So just really trying to find it. There's a shove finally here onto Showmaker. Going on in is Duro, and we got the ult coming out from the Jin, and that will be the first blood going over to Gen.G.
Ruler with the prediction on the shuffle. Have spawned. And this play and the counterplay there from Gen.G will actually guarantee grub control right now. Showmaker does have his ultimate available, but it's not anywhere near.
He's going to put down a wall, just saying, do not come in here. It's 6 grubs over to Gen.G already as Showmaker trying to go in onto him, actually. We got the Canyon ult as well as he gets the sweep and barely gets out with his life. Gen.G, they do have to stick around, though, after that play, and Duro will have to pay for it, as he will be the sacrifice. The mini-map, Shu actually trying to follow him through the jungle and trying to deny the TP from coming through. We'll see if he can do that, but now the engage comes in from Duro. The TP does get off, and DK are just going to get away. They do get away with their lives for now, but now Beryl, he doesn't have his flash, and down he will go. It's an easy pickup here. Another kill for Ruler as well. Duro, another sacrifice from him as he goes to the right instead of just down. And, well, he'll go down. Yeah.
I suppose, but
X-Tech Soul.
X-Tech Soul here.
High level to carry his team, whereas Gen.G have a lot of threats, especially this Jin, as now Lucid is getting incredibly low, but Duro also is burning down, and that's a Sinjao. You don't want to engage onto that, and now a big bullet time to force Gen.G away. DK in a pretty good spot, some low health bars, but they're up 5-4.
Maker still has his ult.
Yeah, Equalizer in 5, which unfortunately not the best timing for Keen on that one. A 4th shot to come down. He's going to miss, actually. Equalizer is thrown in. A root on Ashiwu, but that is an Ornn. And DK get away with the eye and the win in the fight.
They had the setup there, and we already talked about the zone controls. This could be a dead rumble. I think it likely will be.
Yeah, he is absolutely dead. I mean, there was a ward on the Krugs. I thought he saw Lucid moving over. Maybe he didn't expect 3 people to be coming over. Either way, it's a mistake. With no flash available, he's dead.
With Barrel's shot calling, go up there and get that kill onto Keen is part of why they have a gold lead now. Feats of Strength did go over with that bottom turret being taken here by Gen.G. You know, Feats of Strength have been, I don't want to say overrated, but just not as impactful as they were in LCK Cup, let's just say. Still significant, but I don't think D+ are as worried with the scaling they have, as they're just going to let this Herald crash. I think with the positioning there, with their aggressive siege, I can maybe look for something. As speaking of looking for something, they're looking for Ruler.
And they're going pretty deep for this one. I don't know about this one, Beryl. The turret will go down, but the bullet time nearly going to take out Ruler. But at the end of the day, it is, of course, Beryl who does go down. Now, they did get the mid turret, as we immediately have a pause.
And I think it will be successful. The question is, what happens after Chovy shows up? Because here he comes.
The Equalizer is very lackluster. It's only helping them actually kill the Otacon. We do have a wall to come down, but he goes down to the opposite side of that, as now they try to go for the turn, as it looks like it will be secured by the Azir of all people, as now they're going super deep. Look at this, Keen immediately going to go down. And DK, they pull it off. Gen.G perhaps not responding on time, and they just got zoned away from the fight. The Voracious Otacon does go the way of DK, aiming nearly gets withdrawn there. Some low health bars, potential for Gen.G to get some extra gold, but
yeah,
doesn't look like, maybe Shu. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to be knocked back. And the rest of the team, actually, Showmaker going to get the flash out of Ruler, but maybe goes a bit too deep for it, as the first shot is going in on aiming. And look at the left side as well. Gen.G are winning that. And DK, you got the Otacon. You pulled off the impossible, but now you pulled off maybe the worst play of the game, as Showmaker is going to sweep away. It might not be a huge deal at the end of the day, as Canyon going to miss both daggers, actually.
It's fine.
By the way, in live, we're fighting for the streak here. Gen.G, they want to go for this one, but Voracious Otacon still up. on, it looks like 2 of the members. We have a wall coming down, but that's not going to do all too much. Barrel's just zoning them away. He goes into his ult, and he's like, all right, cool story. We got the dragon. The Showmaker goes in, gets stunned, only catches one, but it's the Jin. It's a massive pick. And now the rest of Gen.G are on the backside, but Chovy a big shove to at least get some of this back here. Lucid has to go into his own ult, as Barrel should be going down here. Keen was fighting against 2 people up on the top side. But now finally maybe DK got something going. Canyon goes in, but a ton of damage goes his way. And Duro goes back in, and that is going to mean that Chovy picks up another kill here. And Shio is also not very long. Showmaker, what is going on? What are you doing? Oh, he goes back in, and that's going to mean his death and a shutdown for Chovy's Talia.
You know, 2 plays in a row. I'm very impressed by D+. I'm very excited about what they've done. I'm like, wow, you really pulled it off. And this is going to be Gen.G looking for the Baron. Barrel alone will do nothing against this. Aiming doesn't have his ultimate, even though he's fairly nearby. And the Gen.G crowd goes wild.
You predicted, Wolf. We'll see how game 2 goes. Or if Gen.G can even close this one out. I think that one was the play that kind of broke this game wide open, as Gen.G now have a significant lead of about 5,000, a 3,000 Red Bull Baron power play, and they're only getting more. I mean, they're just cycling from every lane, bot to mid, and now they're going to look for that top inner. There's nobody even catching the wave. The whole team is rotating over now because, well, they're not going to hold mid, or top rather, looking for Keen, and there's just no follow-up on that Ornhorn. The equalizers have been a little bit sus today, Keen. I will say that. So maybe some pressure getting to him, but that's okay. They're still winning. Still winning and still kind of zoning with that, I guess is what you can say. But they still get the inhibitor. They're going to get that top inhibitor turret. Pushing for the second one might be a little bit greedy, but Showmaker doesn't have flash. He does have his ultimate. Duro is out of there.
Yeah, he is like, guys.
He's like, nope, we're not.
And I say first dragon, it's the first Hextech dragon towards Hextech Soul, but they're not even on Soul Point. As here comes the Ornn ultimate.
I mean, they're going to get Chovy. He is a big target. The ult comes down, and Chovy's in a lot of trouble. They get Chovy down, but the fight is still continuing. Duro's going in, trying to save Keen meanwhile, as Ruler has a bit of a front line, but Barrel does a good job of zoning, but not quite good enough. Canyon just running Lucid around the jungle, and now he comes out behind aiming like a jump scare. And now we got a couple of tanks here on the side of DK up against 3 carries on the side of Gen.G. And Gen.G from this far ahead, I think they just have enough money. And they will just plop it on the heads of Lucid and maybe Shu here. As Canyon still on the chase.
I think they'll be happy to take this top inhibitor and then fish for anything else they can find, but they don't have to overextend here. I mean, yes, we are 30.5 minutes into the game. Death timers are long, but it was a bit of a staggered fight where D+ do have those respawns, so
the most fed member, or at least had the biggest lead on his team. Now we got Canyon in a weird spot here. Doesn't have untargetable anymore. Just going to go forward because he can't go anywhere else. A lot of damage done to the outer members. Chovy getting low though as well. Shu not able to do too much with this ult. Finally gets the knock up here on a Chovy, but down goes aiming, and that means that a ton of damage is just gone from this composition. Showmaker's already dead, and so Gen.G kind of just get to do whatever they want. Lucid, he's so tanky. He's actually quite fed in this game from his first 3 kills, but he can't do it alone in a situation like this. Oh, he's going to get denied from the kill on the Chovy as well.
He's going to have his GA by a little bit more time. I mean, they need time here, or else the Nexus is just going to explode. Like, there's a super minion on the Nexus turrets here. Gen.G know that the respawns are coming through. They have several super minions pushing through the top lane, but with the health bars the way they are, they're just going to settle for a Baron. Pretty doomed. I'm just saying all the positive things about D+ here that I can. This is my job as a caster, but it's not looking great.
Equalizer here. This is a decent amount of damage, but it's not really used in the fight. Barrel just going to hit the ground, it looks like. Just trying to tank for the team. Just trying to do something. He gets the knock-up in a Canyon, but he goes untargetable. That is Neferi, and this time Lucid doesn't look all that tanky. Not in the face of all that damage. Finally, Showmaker's going to pull the trigger on the engage. Does get the kill on a Ruler. And Drew getting pretty low, but I think the wallets are just too heavy at this point, and Canyon still has his ult. Gonna go in and finish off what is left of DK, as Shu also gets taken out. It's an ace for Gen.G, and that will be game 1 in their favor.
Heartbreaking loss for D+. Such a strong start in this game. They kept it even. They had the critical Otacon take, but they fumbled the follow-up. They had the secure of the Dragon fight and fumbled the follow-up. And if you fumble against Gen.G, you are gonna get wrecked. And the early game feels great on the bottom side of the map here. Top side of the map is going to be skill-based and how this Keen Shio matchup plays out. Like, I do feel like Shiu skipped the Keen test because he played Ornn in game 1 of the Rumble. Lucid is going to take this crab away. And, I mean, Showmaker has a little bit of control here in mid lane. They're going to look for something.
Yeah, Canyon stunned out of the wall. Little root over it as the flash comes in, and Canyon has to flash to the cone, and oh, the disengaged cone will get the flash out. Here's Chovy looking for the 1 kill on the Showmaker. Will get it with the auto, and now guess who's here? It's Keen. First from the top lane, and that is going to escort Lucid out.
Them, but, you know, I would have figured that would have been the angle.
Yeah. Gwen with grubs, Jace with grubs. Feels like both of those are extremely strong. Showmaker getting in there, blocked by a bunch of minions. Chovy was the one who was taking the aggressive trade and actually kind of lost it towards the end. So, kind of not happy with that. Mountain Drake goes over to Gen.G, and we have another Chemtech Drake.
We delayed the lane swap, but
yeah.
Ultimately we still ended up with this. Lucid!
Oh boy, Chovy way too far up. He's going to try to flash, and Valkyrie, it's not going to happen. Lucid and Showmaker put it together. It's so difficult to get away from both Ryze and Sejuani if you don't have the cleanse. And now TP's coming in. Keen has done a huge amount of damage to both barrel and aiming already.
I don't know about this.
Yeah, Keen's just going to back away, but now we got Realm Warp coming in. Trying to get on top of him. Lucid here as well. Maybe a stun to come down, and under the turret, Shiu just knocks him back with the flash. And it's another kill to DK.
Yeah, they end up making it work here. Now they're going to get a TP here out of Chovy into the bottom lane. Do they commit for another one? There's only a few minions here, but actually the next wave comes over. This could have been too much for Chovy.
Yeah, I mean, he's here very early, and now we have the bailout. Barrel is going to go down, but so does Chovy. I mean, Chovy got a kill, but so does Showmaker. Gen.G on them at the moment. It's just the two of them, though. And I feel like DK could absolutely fight for this if they wanted to, as now coming over is Duro. Gonna engage a bit on Lucid, but again, Lucid's pretty fed, as now we got a join from the side of Ruler. They want to take the fight, in they go, on to Lucid. He is just so dead, even an Impale utilized, and the collapse came in so quickly that DK could not really respond in time.
For them, because they had the Renata ultimate, they were in a good position to contest. They will actually end up conceding their grubs to Canyon, so it'll be a 3-for-3 split. But ultimately, the fight was played out better by Gen.G. So I think it was just a good play and outplay from Gen.G as Ruler flashed.
Yeah, he's flashing on that auto, hit a minion. We'll see if they can still finish him off. They absolutely can. Meanwhile, down on the bottom side, DK get another kill. At least Duro will trade one back. But I think that kill over to the side of DK will be certainly more valuable.
Chemtech Dragon. Like, Chemtech Soul, I think, has its place. And it is, in some cases, when you have like a Gwen, for example, I mean, damn, that's really powerful. But Chemtech Soul on its own, one single dragon, is kind of like, It's one step to a soul, and it's Ocean Soul. So I think the dragon interest not going up too much in this game. Turret interest, though, is still peak. You know, it's still high. It's a good time to kill turrets. And
yeah,
Gen.G are going to look for this turret here. Barrel is shadowing, but I think they have to just go.
Yep, they're going to get the first turret. Actually, it might have gone over to the chase.
Yeah, bottom lane.
DK got the feats of warfare.
Just keep Showmaker safe and deny a dive. That was the best he could have done. Bought enough time. His aiming is now no cleanse.
Where's his barrel? Oh no! The flash heal! It doesn't help at all!
This could be. I think D+ are just going to have to give this one up with no AD carry here. And
I mean, aiming was in a position. He saw the Kaisa, stayed around, doesn't have either summoner. And he doesn't even have his support.
Yeah, it's not okay. I'm not going to say it's the game-losing moment, but it's certainly a big window back into this game and full control now to Gen.G, who have the Herald. Duro is Leona.
Yeah, we're just running in the two of them before the team even gets there. This is not looking good for DK. Duro, though, is going to go down, and you know what? Keen at least is able to get the kill. The Impale is also going to miss, as now the stun of the wall, and Shiu's in a lot of trouble. Goes down to Ruler's Q on the flash, as he's not able to get away. Canyon now just going to flash away himself. Showmaker makes his way over, but he's kind of alone as the one guy who can still do damage, and Gen.G are just able to sail away. And look at Chovy in the top lane, just farming it out. Good for controlling objectives and stuff like that.
Longer fights really good for Gwen, really good for Skarner.
He's going to drop a Rift Herald in their face. Hey, what are you going to do about this? We're going to take the fight now. Let's see the Impale as Canyon going to get in there. The Renata ult is pretty good, but he gets aiming, and first goes down Barrel, so the bailout not going to do anything, and Lucid also going to fall by the wayside. Shiu and Showmaker, the two damage stealers, just absolutely not able to do anything. And the follow-up is coming in. They still have the Kaisa ult here, and they get a fourth member as Gen.G just roll over DK in the fight.
A very decisive fight win here for Gen.G, and this starts to feel like the straw that breaks the camel that is D+'s back, as they're just going to be able to take the dragon from this. They grab the turret in mid lane. A very close game until it was 1,000 gold lead. So much turret gold goes over. Showmaker will get at least one outer back in return here, and his Rod of Ages is completed.
All right, trying to collapse on a Keen, but he's got a lot of help now, and he has his needles available, so he is not killable. Now an ult gonna come down on a Ziwu, and it's just getting worse for DK. They're getting caught in the side lane, trying to collapse onto a Gwen, who is in a very fed position. And, I mean, there's not even a Baron available, but it feels like Gen.G have Baron with the ability to just roll over these lanes.
Yeah. You know, from here, Showmaker just stays, like he gets the inner, that's a lot of money to arise. But I'm worried about what happens next when we start moving towards these objective fights, because
there's not really anything that they can do at this point in time. Just gonna burst this one down, and well, they gotta get in. The arrow's not gonna hit anything somehow, and they're just zoned away. Not gonna be able to do anything, and now the engage comes in from Gen.G. Getting onto aiming once again, who does have the bailout, but he's still getting just burned through it. It's not enough, and the wallets of Gen.G are just gigantic once again, and they should be able to take this game from here with the Runas Otacon. Heal for Ruler, like he's just so far ahead on this Crit Kaisa.
He does have 18 wins over D+ in his collection already. I think he's looking to collect the 19th.
Yeah. He is a collector himself.
Yeah. They're just, once again, it's like Chovy and Duro hold the line, because Chovy has an escape, and he can get out. And they don't really have great engage outside of the ult from Lucid. So, like, Duro and Chovy are the right people, and Keen's on the flank, and this Baron is just gone. Lucid's in.
They're just throwing everything at it, and it's not going to be stolen. Nice try by Lucid. I don't even know how he got in there, but man, it just feels like the game is over from here. Keen doesn't have his ult anymore, but he's just snipping away at Showmaker's butt, and he will take him down. Meanwhile, she was bot. Never really found a reason to TP in there because the fight was just lost. Like, Ashe ult went in, Renata ult went in, and they just didn't do anything.
Yeah. I think this is the expected result, Valdez, for me as a 2-0 Predator. But with the game one that D+ looked so good, and in game two there were certainly some moments. It looked like there was hope, but I think this is the end.
They're just smashing him now, as she did at least come back to the base to participate in the last fight. But Gen.G 2-0, nothing to see here.
I guess that's kind of my 80 carry bias is against like MF oftentimes when you don't have great setup, and I feel like it's a pick that you're not really doing things, you're just waiting for your team to set you up to do things, Isan. And
it's like ranch dressing or something. Horrendously American. We're trying to engage here onto a Nautilus who got a fantastic buffer. Great job by Ondel so far. Just dodging everything. He goes back in and tries to buffer again, but he's playing against Xin Zhao. And so he just gets stunned. And now Lazy Feel has to use the
Sponge, though, might be able to get on top of Diablo here.
It was all a bait the whole time, except Ondel is just dead. That's not a bait, that's just dying. There's a difference. Kellen will die, so at least they trade it back.
Yukao, because it looked like there was no minions left, so he knew that Vikkel wasn't going to be able to hit 6. We'll probably get a replay of it, but that's what our detective senses are telling us. As Raptor will also secure this dragon here, and it's time for another hot dog in the top lane.
Going in on this one, not much that Clear can do except try to flash away. Even Exhaust utilized here. A Sponge is going to go untargetable, and that is a very easy dive for them. Now 2 kills for Sponge, so I guess it's that kind of Sponge game where he just totally takes over. Meanwhile, we do have a fight down in the bottom lane. 2v2 Ondel in a lot of trouble here. Doesn't have his flash, does have Ignite, and he does use it on Diablo, but it's not enough to trade a kill back.
Yeah, Sponge is going to be able to, you know, after taking that second kill, come over here and take these grubs. Raptor does have Smite. It's going to be a 50-50 here if he gets in time, which he does not.
Just going to say hello.
Sponge has a pretty significant experience lead over him as well. It's a lot of micro trades all over the map, isn't it? Oh, that slow is big.
Oh, he's hitting everything. Last shot could do it. Oh, the barrier saves his life barely. That flourish will be dodged, or blocked rather.
That's a successful, that's a correct barrier. That's the one we're looking for. That's the correct barrier. Diablo's still alive here. He can go back in.
He's got a shield and he flashes out. Just gets away from Lazyfield. He's walking him around like he's got him on a leash.
Oh
Lazyfield goes down. Kellen gets the kill. But Diablo going back in, make sure he's dead. Meanwhile, an ult in mid, no ult here for Vikla, and that's just another free kill for Sponge, who is 3-0. They were. Vikla, kind of a weird angle there, but he's not going to get rooted. Meanwhile, UCal is down here, and his ult just dashing back and forth. We got a little bit of support from the Jin as well. His last shot going to miss both of them. Actually, he had to deal with Vikla, who was right on top of him. He's trying to flash away. It's Jin versus Azir on the top side. Meanwhile, Kellen died on the bottom fight.
Yeah, and I mean, LazyFeel's just going to get out of here for free. They do not hit the Void Seeker onto him. Andil tanks that up.
What a weird fight.
That's a dragon. Yeah, if Chronic were here, he'd probably tell him to take it away. I'm glad he didn't tell me to do that because I'm not ready.
Diablo decided he wanted to fight for this. He does not have Flash, and he doesn't really have his team because Clear is running after UCal. And will he get the kill? No, he won't. UCal gets away. And DRX are just running this rift right now.
Yeah, it feels like BNK. It's a game of near misses, a game of almosts. So let's see what Raptor can do here. Is this going to be another almost?
Or, I mean, it's Nefiri, but you can't go untargetable forever. And eventually he goes down. That's a big shutdown, a huge amount of gold into Raptor. He really needed it.
Yeah. It's actually going to help him catch up a little bit. Still has a significant disadvantage, but that is going to allow them to, despite losing the fight, take this dragon, which will be the second of the game.
Like, Sponge shouldn't just be able to take all of these down, but he's going to get 5. I think it was 5. No, it was just 4. And now he'll be escorted out. Andil's kind of hanging around. I mean, you never know in this game. I'm like, maybe they just go in. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they know either, but they're going to come in.
Well, they're just going in onto Leona. They break the wrist and walk away.
That's enough to get that final grub. And that's 5-1. Yeah. BNK a little bit nervous to actually commit further into the fight, which I think, considering the posturing, they decided to go. Like, they initially had control, but they kind of backed off. Diablo went back to mid. I don't think they were going to be able to win that fight, because LazyFeel can... Starting to feel like Otacon's spawning the bottom side of the map this game.
I would not be surprised, yeah. Andil goes back in. There's still a ward there. A lot of damage from UCal, but Andil has been doing this a lot of the game, just trying to bait them in, I suppose. And he will go down. Meanwhile, Sponge, level 10 and very strong, but he's just in a fury. He gets pulled back, and somehow Raptor got that kill. I thought for sure Diablo was just going to get it on the scoop.
Top laners are just trying to not interact with each other and not interact with anyone else. What
is this game?
Clear and Rich, who both had teleporter, just like came out. He was in mid lane, but anyways, he is going to now try to start off this Herald. BNK back in the game. Yeah. With a 2-dragon lead, maybe even a contest here on this Herald.
Yep, they're TPing in. Looks like they do want to go for this fight. Raptor, he gets engaged on, but he should be okay. Xin Zhao is fed. No ult, though. It was 8 seconds away. I thought for sure he would have it back, and that means he's just dead, in fact. Down he goes, and Kellen is like, man, I thought you had your ult. I thought we had a fight going.
Well, that's going to be the Herald here for DRX, but even more, Vikla not able to join the fight, completely zoned away, had both his ult and flash. Any consequences for that, and that should be the mid-turret here for DRX, their first of the game.
Yeah. We oftentimes see this with our east side teams where, you know, they'll get leads and they'll throw them away. But credit to DRX, at least they were able to set up that last fight, and they've really gained back the lead they lost. It's not a massive lead, but 2000s is pretty good at this point in time. As now, in goes Raptor. He's got his ult this time. The follow-up of the equalizer, not that good, though. It is going to zone them into the mid lane. As now UCal, big ult and a huge amount of damage in onto Raptor. He goes down. Vikla not going to land his as he gets flashed away from. Re-engage comes in on the left side. UCal goes down, but so does Clear. As now DRX are on the chase. No ult's available, and now we got a Sun turret, so just going to let it go and maybe just take the Infernal Drake.
So, no flashes outside of Sponge left here for DRX after that exchange, but they ended up getting 2 from BNK as well. The Gwen is the 2,000 gold lead, by the way. Rich has picked up so many kills. He picked up a 4th one in that. I guess it's determined a little bit earlier in the game than when a lot of those bottom fights happen, so I guess that's why, but like, we know the reason, but it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Trade of turrets. One more. Just go over to DRX. A little bit of burst here on a Vikla. We got a TP coming in as well. UCal even thinking about taking the 1v1. Now we got supports in it, and yeah, Vikla, he doesn't have assault. He doesn't have a way to dash out of this one. Finally does get straight into the Nefiri and just dies. As now Kellen will also go down. So there you go. That's what happens when you try to save your mid laner, who is wildly out of position. And now DRX is going to take the Otacon.
I do feel like, and I've said it many times, there have been many games where Vikla is beating the allegations. I'm not sure if this one is going to be on my list. Very far forward there. Did have his ultimate, but didn't really have anywhere to go because
you did say you would always choose Yukao.
I did. I also did say that. I did say that. I just feel like Vikla's over-criticized, but I think he will be receiving some deserved ones for some of the plays fighting when he's alone or being caught. So with 600 gold bounty.
Oh, he's going to be caught with a 600 gold bounty, Wolf. And guess who gets all the gold? It's Diablo on the Kai'Sa.
There's not really any cross map, you know, there wasn't any pressure there. They don't have pressure on top side, so just kind of losing out. BNK making the better moves on the map, reading this better. TP is going to be committed by Rich here. That is a big Gwen to show up.
Sponge is doing the dragon. Sponge is doing the dragon. This is not going to work, ever. It's not going to work. And BNK will take the fight for free.
I don't understand this one. Like, it's a big Gwen.
You never know, Wolf.
Gwen was immune, but this Gwen that had the massive lead is kind of, you know, fumbling it a little bit here. It's a decent ult from Vikla.
Yeah, it's a 1v1 for now. Yukao is seemingly losing it. By the way, Clear's TP was so deep as Vikla is going to get taken, or he's going to get the kill rather. And we also do have Ondel going down here as DRX really just kind of falling apart the last 3 or so fights.
Yeah, just so split up. Yukao confident that he could win the 1v1 there, I think is really the shot calling about how this one went down, and then Sponge comes over. Maybe he helps clear it up, but then they can't because BNK are deep in the jungle. BNK just making overall the better decisions here around the map, like punishing Rich, then going for the topside play. They have a 2 Drake lead, so it's not like Infernal Soul's on the cards here for DRX, so they make the play topside to try to get more valuable gold and more control on topside where Baron is spawning. Yeah, he just was very aware. It was good shot calling.
Yeah, so good on him. He's able to spare his own blushes from early on in the game as in goes Ondil. And the Equalizer is going to actually zone away the rest of the team from joining on in Clear. Actually relatively tanky, has a Banshee's Veil, is going to live as he flashes back to his team. And Raptor trying to go in onto multiple, trying to take a 1v1 against the Gwen. Not really going to work, but the rest of BNK does show up. And it doesn't really look like Rich and Lazyfield can stick around.
Nah, Sponge tries to get the, like, he gets the reset kill, but is killed before he can actually use it the second one to get out with his ultimate. And just, is any good news here for Yukao? Had a good start early.
Wait. Goes in, and there's a lot of people in the brush as they were hiding on brush. It's a little bit of a broken up fight, but Diablo's going to clean up the mess as he will take the 1v1 versus Lazyfield. Rich comes back over. Diablo at least gets the kill before he goes down. And BNK will win this one. Again, it wasn't a clean fight. It was a down and dirty one in the jungle, but they got the job done, and they will get the streak.
Okay, that's going to be Infernal Soul point for BNK. Lazyfield has a control ward in the back of the pit, but they pull it away from it, so we'll just have to go blind. And it was a nice try. Like, the timing wasn't that bad. He's sad bees away, and we have the knowledge. We know the facts.
Yeah. We have the edge of the Infinity kind for this Kai'Sa. Rich taking a 1v1 against Vikla. It's a lot of damage, actually. Vikla isn't really in this fight, and so he's calling for the team to back away. He wants to back. Meanwhile,
great angle for Lazyfield.
Yeah, they're getting roasted by Clear, but actually it's getting roasted by Lazyfield. It was quite far away. And so 1 kill goes over. Nice call from BNK, though, to immediately abandon ship. We've seen other teams just go in.
Does he just TP back in, though? I am a little bit worried about this. He has full health now.
They've done some damage. This is an engage onto Kellen, who is quite tanky. They throw everything into Kellen, but it's enough, and they get the kill, and now Raptor goes in, Vikla goes in. They're both getting melted, and the low health bars don't matter when you're down so many members. DRX, they win a fight with 4 people.
I thought we knew things. I thought I had the knowledge. I thought I had the facts.
We don't know anything.
I thought I had the info. But guess what? All it takes is a misposition. All it takes is a bad setup. And I think the composition here of DRX is just more robust overall than BNK. It has a lot more. The Gwen and Clear died. That was the bigger issue for me. Well, we might have a 7 Elemental Dragon game on our hands if DRX can maintain control. We are 33 minutes in.
We still don't know who's going to win.
That fun game.
24 to 24.
Just yesterday.
In that game. Yeah, pretty interesting. And
Baron is going to help them siege here with a composition that has...
So untargetable. And he's been doing this all game. to
Cal on the flank.
you know, to mixed success. UCal is on the flank, goes on in, drops a gigantic ultimate into that backline, but he immediately gets sweep and just dies. Vikla goes golden, but now he's not doing damage. Do they have enough? It's the question. The answer is no. As Rich, he goes untargetable, and he kills the rest of them alongside a Sponge. The two Fed members on the side of DRX, they get the job done
It might
at the very
not
end.
have an 80 carry, a traditional one. You might just have Jin, who's in the middle of this fight feeling real awkward. But when there's about 9 people standing on one single hex of League of Legends and Rich presses Q, he's gonna do big damage. And we are now tied in total kills here with the Hanwha Nongshim series from yesterday, and I guess it's gonna remain a tie. Because DRX are gonna end the game here at 35.5 minutes after a disastrous fight for BNK. Kellen shows up, but he won't die, so the record stands at 48.
No, yeah, I get it.
He shoots a little far.
I understand
He gets a little healing. That's the angle.
I do
He's ranged
understand
into
that,
Rel.
yeah.
He wants to win the lane, and then like later
Yeah.
on, she was gone for a really long time, to be fair, and then she came back, and we were like, well, that's enough.
Yeah.
As Raptor is up here, so we'll talk about Nami later. LazyFeel has flash.
Any tunnelers? Raptor getting in. He flashes straight into the Skarner. And LazyFeel is going to go down. First blood. And Clear picks that one up. He'll very much enjoy that gold.
I think he had his arcane shift available, but he flashed into the Skarner. Oh no, he shifted into the Skarner.
Shifted into
Okay,
Skarner. Okay, that
Thank
makes-
God, I thought he flashed.
I mean,
Diablo has...
does Rich have enough mana for his ult? He might not
I don't
even
think
need
he
it.
needs
He's just killing him. He's just killing him. He just chops him with his axe.
Sponge is like, what
It's
the hell?
illusion.
Where's my assist, man?
What is happening?
Where is my assist?
Which was first blood, so that does help out quite a bit.
I mean, he laned into Jace, and then he laned into Lucian.
Yeah, and to be fair to Diablo, he's only 70 gold behind, so it's not the end of the world, but he definitely doesn't have the same tempo for sure. As they're gonna get the flash out of Sponge. Little stun goes down in here. Clear may be in a little bit of trouble. They're trying to get the resets here onto him, but Sponge gets incredibly low. Has to get flashed on by Raptor to go down. Vikla and Raptor just trying to kite this one out. Bit of damage from the Ahri. As the knockback does come in, they actually flash on in to the Skarner. LazyFeel gonna pick that one up, but immediately gets traded back by Vikla, who has another charge of the Spirit Rush. Just gonna go back in.
The Kellen heals!
It's a very close one, but the heals from the hero Melio is gonna get the job done. It's a triple for Vikla's Ahri.
What is happening? Rich is getting plates. That's what's happening right now in live, but
Raptor?
yeah, we're just flipping the map on its head here, and I mean, Clear can join unless Rich interrupts him.
Well, Sponge is dead after all of that. I don't really know what the idea was, but he's trying to get himself back in the game, and it's not working. Meanwhile, a little flip on Emilio, but we're going to miss that action. Not exactly important, as Kellen lives with about half health. And yeah, it's just a dragon over to BNK.
So BNK made the right call there. Rich TP's top, and then they just pivot away from Grubs and go Dragon. Because they're like, well, you can't go back to the Dragon no matter what now. Rich does stop Clear from teleporting in to the Dragon fight, but they still end up having the numbers advantage there. They catch Sponge out, and they win the fight off of that. Vikla may have to run
He doesn't
away.
have Spirit Rush, and he doesn't have Flash. Waiting for Hondo to come back in. This might be the shutdown that they want here. Vikla gets shut down. 675 gold goes to UCal. Very heads-up play.
Before that pick onto Vikla did happen. And, you know, they're end up winning on both sides of the map here. And the fact that Illusion didn't win lane really created a lot of issues for them, but they still had a Jace into the Scion. They still had Prio. Now they're winning team fights pretty consistently here, so they pull 1,000 gold ahead. And this Lucian might actually get to play the game at some point.
I mean, you know, getting a turret instead of a Rift Herald
It's a 1+1.
feels good.
Yeah, 1 turret, 1 Dragon Prio, please. I heard
Yeah.
it comes with it.
We do have TP. Yeah, you can't deny it either. You have to get it. The calling comes out.
I was like, I don't know. I don't have a life wrap for you.
Sponge is here. And Clear in a lot of trouble, actually. Gonna try to flash. Nice knockback into flash away. Barely survives.
And they will get the Dragon. And, you know, they group towards him. If DRX had tried to chase there, they end up dying, and Dragon does go over. So a kind of weird set of events that happened there and transpired, but Clear's pressure in the bottom lane really helped them get that prio back. The Herald helps them get the prio back. The timing of DRX grouping for Dragon being too early really hurts them. Sure, they got the turret, but the Herald allows the prio to be wrestled away, and also will lead to this turret here in the mid lane. And Clear did significant damage to that bottom turret as well. So
what a game. Wow. Amazing.
He will get it on the next wave.
He does. He's got his whole team there, so I would hope that he would be able to.
There's a turret with a wave here, so
a lot of people
Dragon
here.
Oh, he dashed on
Vikla, no, the one thing you couldn't do. But a massive impale will matter. Raptors going the wrong way. And he just dies.
Sponge with the charm as well onto him as he transforms to Ahri.
Ah, that's why. That was crazy. They're just going to get the Otacon.
Oh, boy. I mean, I was like, okay, this time it makes sense. There's no Dragon, there's Otacon, though, and you want to get that turret. So this time the group up with the wave they actually had does make sense, but Vikla dashes right into rocks. It's like a bird that thinks there's a very clean glass door.
They just smack right into it.
They
it's so
smacked
sad.
right into it.
So sad.
It gets caught, you commit to the dive because you have your reses. I think that's
kind of looks like that's what they're setting up for. You know, they pushed out top and bot.
Rich has his ultimate as well, so you could do a lot with this.
Stun on a Raptor. Wall's coming down. There's your siege, but instead it's just a fight. UCal, meanwhile, going head to head with multiple guys. The cleanse comes out, and the culling does as well, but Raptor's already dead. So Diablo takes a nice trade against UCal, but the rest of his team not in a great spot.
I mean,
losing their jungler.
They didn't get the turret. They got a kill. It wasn't the cleanest execution.
No! That was not what we wanted to see. Absolutely not.
He has certainly gone in when he should not go in a few times this game. But it has been somewhat funny, but it's also been, it's made me almost fall out of my chair a few times.
You almost pulled a UCal there.
Yeah, I gave bird flu across.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, Rich here is trying to defend his turret with a little bit of help from the Hex Gates.
I think Claire's just dead. Yeah, he's just getting 1v1 by UCal, and his team lost position. Meanwhile, DRX are getting the
Dragon. How are they getting the Dragon and a kill on the top side of the map?
BNK are lost. Vikla! All right.
They already had the Dragon!
They already got the Dragon! They knew!
It was gone!
And another charm onto the Skarner. And now a big knockup comes in, and the resets are here. I mean, once one team starts getting resets, they're going to win the fight.
Yeah, very snowbally, very volatile fights here. And the gold lead's still only 2,000, but I don't
maybe he thought it was only Sponge? Like, if it's only Sponge, then maybe. But then why is he, putting his mist up against that wall? Oh, man.
All right, well, this could get interesting.
Yeah, the Randuins. Rich is like, yeah, you want to go? 1v1 me. 1v1 me right now, Rich says, and then he calls over his buddy, and it's not very fair. That does mean that Clear is going to die.
He almost didn't even need UCal as, here's a fight.
Oh, that's a charm. That's a big one on the Sponge, but Andil going to spare the blessings of the team. We do see the heal coming out of the kill, and he's trying his best on the Melio.
The lack of map control here, it gets a little bit tricky, and they made some poor decisions around the map, and DRX, almost 3,000 gold up here, kind of poised to get a back-to-back upset win. You know, they got the win last time around against Bro. Because what we learned in game one was when we think we know this, we're wrong. But I feel like I'm already ready to believe again. I'm ready to believe.
All right, send it.
Andil.
All right, send it. Rich is going in, but he's very tanky. Has to flash the charm. So, yeah, I mean, they got the flash from both Kellen and Diablo. So I suppose that's worked. And now Diablo dashes forward. This is Diablo after all. This is what he does.
He's doing it very well.
Yeah, he's actually skirting right around the edge. Look at this Sponge. He's going to get caught. And now the rest of DRX has to just run away. Diablo getting on in there on a Rich who has to ult away. And at least DRX abandoned ship at the right time. While I say that, Andil coming back in. A little stun. Andil? No? Okay, well, he's dead. He's going to try to save his Talia. And meanwhile, UCal says, no, I'd rather not be saved. I'm going in. 1v5, I got this. And he does. He's got the kill.
Okay.
He actually does.
Lands in the back away that buys a little bit of space
they're
here.
Just doing Baron, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sponge's Raptor rather is just dead. And so he wasn't able to even contest. Because now wall comes down. Nice charm off of the wall. And DRX trying to decide if they want to go for this fight. Emilio in a lot of trouble. Kellen just dies, but Andel might pay for it as well. The clear goes in, takes out the Talia. LazyFeel is the one guy that has to fight up against everybody if they want to save their Baron buff. In goes Vikla. He's just tied to the Ezreal. No, Vikla! As LazyFeel, he's getting Qs. He's getting Qs on the Raptor, and he lives because of the lifesteal. Just barely.
Look at those smiles. Look at those smiles. I don't even know what team they're fans of. That's
They're having a great time.
That's what you're gonna have. Raptor on the chase. Hold on. Hold on.
Nah.
Hold on.
Nah.
It's just Sion, so that's what happened there.
Oh, we're fighting
missing
again.
so much in live.
Yeah, we're fighting again. Please, no more replays.
Yeah, let's just let it happen.
See these fights once.
I don't.
I don't want to see them again.
That's one time is enough for me, and I don't want to miss any action.
I've seen enough. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Hextech, Soul Point on the line. 30 minutes in.
Trying to fight for this. I mean, they're pretty low. Some heals coming out from the Emilio. And yeah, I guess DRX without their LazyFeel, who died at some point. They're just gonna let it go.
Yeah, and he has flash. You know, I don't know. You gotta triumph to triumph. You gotta like have.
Yeah, you gotta overcome adversity, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the adversity in this one.
He's or death cap for this. Is they're just half gone.
They're just taking the Baron. BNK, what are you doing? Get over there. It's gone. It's too late. BNK, no.
Awkward timing, but with Hex Gates.
Look at the wall. They're like, please don't do it. Please, no.
Okay, that's a big shock blast.
Yep. Oh, Andel. Andel is going. He says, all right, I'm going to send it.
He is, in fact, sending it. LazyFeel!
Whoa! Well, he's got a nice little plant here.
Got a redemption and the plant. Clear if he hits a shock blast. Not going to hit.
Yeah, not going to hit this time. And it could be huge. I mean, they're going to just go for the fight instead. Meanwhile, Vikla just dies. He had flash. And he just dies out of nowhere. LazyFeel is not part of the fight, though. He is totally on the right side, zoned away. But it still means that DRX is going to get this streak.
So 2 back-to-back, 3 for 3, 3 and 3 Elemental Drake games. It's 4,000 plus damage done by Diablo in the fight. Diablo here has the cleanse. He's trying to kite back. He's trying to carry this fight as best as he can. But in live, they are sieging the Nexus turrets.
Please tell me DRX ends it on this push.
They have 1 minute left on Baron.
I don't know if I can take any more wool.
One more.
Please.
1 minute left on Baron.
It has taken quite a while. I mean, they got it for free.
Diablo, whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! 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 He didn't get hit by Rich.
Hold your horses.
He didn't. Rich didn't get him. He tried to get him. He didn't get him. He didn't have flash or cleanse. That was an insane dash forward there. I thought that was the end of the game.
Insane.
I thought that was the end of the game.
You're right. Okay, we're doing it again. Charm on a Rich, the Impale on a Rich. Can they kill the Sion? Turns out, yes. If they do that, they can.
But the prio targets are so hard to get to. So hard to get to.
You can't just give this up. You can't end the game in time. And now they're just going to try to fight. They don't have the positioning. Vikla goes in the Charm on a LazyFeel, but now the counter engage. They don't get LazyFeel, but he's not doing damage. We do have a Impale on a Rich. Why? That's not important, but they're eventually going to be able to take him out. They're also going to get Andil.
Can they live? Because the Hextech Soul went over. It's going to buy some space. Rich's Hextech procs actually help them get away. They need to recall as soon as possible. And 5.5 minutes to the Elder. I guess maybe that's where it'll end. But BNK going to try to use this Baron.
Challengers, baby.
Like, there's only, like, the outer turret is up in bottom lane. The only lane they can push through is mid. And with Hextech Soul.
I mean, they look like it. Right?
Right?
Right? Okay.
That's your teammate. Don't shock blast.
Please don't shock blast the Raptor. I doesn't enjoy that.
Mistakes. You do not want to be the guy who makes the mistake that loses you the game or the series. In the case of BNK, but DRX with a 1-game lead in this one, so mistakes are bound to happen. It's not the cleanest League of Legends we've ever seen from these two teams, even. But still, Baron for 90 more seconds. Now sieging the red buff, slow and steady.
All right,
the big Q, you fell on the flank.
The red buff, and now they're just so deep in there as the ult goes in onto Diablo. Big Impale, but Raptor is stuck in the middle of it. Vikla trying to do the damage, but he's going to eventually go down to 1. Mystic shot is enough. And guess what? We talked about the resets. Who's got the resets? It's Sponge on the Viego.
Diablo back against the wall there. Vikla goes in and dies. And the combo setup just isn't there. Like, you're running a Emilio comp. Why are we looking for these types of engages? Why are we trying to get a multi-man Impale when there's no damage?
I think they end it here.
I think they do. It's an Ahri It's a Lucian comp. You went in for your last chance, your last fight on the red buff.
Well, they got it, Wolf. They got the red buff.
Red buff for Nexus, that's a new one.
Clear has the red buff. He has it. Now he's trying to clear the wave.
Yeah, he's gonna need another shot
I
blast.
suggest, but yeah, he's gonna go in. I mean, the cannon is alive though. They're gonna get him down to his GA. Cannon alive. Do they have a wave? Actually, it's only one. The CC comes in, and they keep the wave alive.
They have it.
They keep the wave alive, and in 44 minutes, DRX will complete their 2-0 of BNK tonight.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.